In this domain, it is still difficult to identify what constructs can be best measured in a digital environment. In ways in which a traditional environment such as paper and pencil or even computer-based testing alone cannot provide sufficient information. For example, how do we measure collaboration? How do we measure interpersonal skills? How do we measure personality skills as part of a holistic approach to measurement and assessment? Then the other question is, among the constructs that we know how to measure, for which we have clear assessment, clearly working assessment, the question is, if we use this new affordances of technology, this environment, this digital environment where we can collect more data from a student interacting with a system, can we provide more information? Can we make more precise measurements and more reliable and valid measurements? Can we take advantage of the additional data points that we are collecting in this environment? And with those, alongside with the traditional psychometric measurement, can we help the test takers improve, say, next time? Can we provide feedback that is more accurate and personalized for each test taker?
We've been seeing an incredible amount of pushback against testing. I believe for us to overcome this problem, we need our test takers to really believe that our tests have value for them. Sometimes that means we need to do a better job of communicating with our test takers. And sometimes it means we need to design the tests differently, maybe providing more feedback that's really useful or more guidance to help the students address any performance gaps they may have. If they see what we offer as valuable to them in really concrete ways, that changes everything. Some assessment innovations, like test questions that add media or interactivity, create challenges for some of our test takers with disabilities. We need to be recognizing that this is an issue and find ways to address it. I believe to ensure test fairness, we should be designing all our test questions with universal design principles in mind from the beginning.
So the standardized assessment have been criticized recently for being biased. So I think the problem that we are having in the society is much deeper than standardized assessment. I think we have a problem with access and opportunity for everyone. And I believe that standardized assessment, for the most part, reflect that. So that's one area of fairness where we need to do better as providers of assessment. Another area of fairness is related to the complex technologies that we are using, both to develop the measurement models, but also to create these personalized tools that help individual test takers that all rely on a lot of data. So in that context, fairness means really representations, means appropriate sampling statistics to be put in place to make sure that the data that we use to refine, develop, train these models, that the data themselves are representative, and that and we need to evaluate the impact across different groups and different people. And then the third type, which is quite interesting actually, is this idea that with the help of the new technologies, we can actually create personalized assessment that adapt to one's ability and perhaps to other dimensions as well. And if that's the case, then for each individual, we would have an assessment that matches that particular profile really well. And in that sense, if we go look through consequences, it means that those assessments have the potential of being extremely inclusive because they will be appropriate for everyone.